Hey up everyone and welcome to Political Nerds. I'm Steph the Alter Nerd, your nerdy political guide from Washington DC to Westminster and beyond. Now of course, before I jump into this, the usual disclaimer. Do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and I'm not inciting hatred to anyone or particular group, religion, etc. So, in part 5 and our final part of our interview series, I'm thrilled to be chatting yet again with Ridvan Adamir, better known as the Apostate Prophet across X and YouTube. And trust me, by the time we're done, if you haven't done so already, you're going to be eager to hit that follow and subscribe button. So I've got all his links ready in the description bar below. His X bio actually confirms that he's an ex-Muslim, Christian, fact checker, and a satiritist. And so in this final episode of my interview with Ridvan, the Apostate Prophet, we're going to be discussing the end of Islamophobia. So Ridvan, what do you think it'll actually take for this pursuit to define Islamophobia to end?
Thank you so much for having me again, Steph. Always a pleasure talking to you. I would say so. What it takes to end this is to get rid of Islam. And
Huh?
you know,
I wasn't expecting that kind of answer. Please elaborate on that one. Wow.
yeah. So of course, if you don't have Islam anymore as a problem, then you also don't need to define Islamophobia anymore. So my encouragement for Muslims would be to stop identifying as Muslims and to stop believing in Islam, to stop propagating Islam. So then you don't have to worry about Islamophobia anymore. But of course, that's not very easy to happen. So the alternative would be to work on reducing the presence of Islam as a political force in your country and to reject it. But foremost, even if you can't do that, the first thing that you should do is to reject any attempt at all to introduce Islamophobia definitions into anything government related. I don't think your government should have anything to do with explaining or defining what Islamophobia is and what opposition or criticism of Islam or Muslims is and is not acceptable. I don't think that this should be part of what your government is. I don't want to sound patronizing here, but your government, as the British nation, as the British people, should not take care of, should not prioritize making sure that Muslims or Islam doesn't feel uncomfortable. This is not something that your government should be worried about. There is a lot to be worried about. There are grooming gangs to be worried about. There's crime to be worried about. There is, I don't know, there's traffic if you're in London to be to be worried about. There are different things to be worried about. Islamophobia is not one of those things. Opposition to Islam or opposition to Muslims is not one of those things. This doesn't concern most people. Most people do not care about it, do not care for it, and your government should not care about it either. They should not think about it for one bit. It is such a waste of taxpayer money. It is such a waste of everyone's time. It is a waste of your spirit, of who you are as a nation. And you should oppose it wherever you see it. This is only the beginning. You will compromise, and you will lose more and more and more and more. They will not stop at this. Muslim organizations will not stop at this. Islamists and Islamic organizations will not stop at this. There is a there was a poll a long time ago which asked the Muslims of the world if they prefer Islamic law or secular law. The majority of Muslims around the world prefer Islamic law. They prefer Sharia law. They want to live under Sharia law, despite the fact that most Muslim nations right now do not live under a direct form of Islamic law, because many of them were secularized or, liberalized by the West in some way. Most of them still want Sharia law back. And in many countries where, for example, in Turkey, where there is secularism or there is democracy and there is some form of liberalism, there is a very strong push to reverse that and to go back to Islam. And they are doing it more and more and more because much of the liberalization and democratization was forced by the West, but they don't really want it. They don't like it. So they want to go back to Islam. If you have massive Muslim populations here that are growing and you have them represented by Islamic organizations, you will have the very same attempt to push more and more Islam. And there was a poll in Britain, which was that most Muslims would like to, punish or outlaw, criticism of or mockery of Islam or Muhammad, for example. Muhammad cartoons should be banned, was the proposition. You don't want this stuff to continue going on, so you should jump in and cut it off wherever you see it, because it will continue getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Muslim culture, Islamic culture is not like your culture. Your culture brought the freedoms that you have today because it is not Islam. Islam does not go toward freedom. It goes toward oppression, toward restriction, toward restricting its own people, which you can see in how women dress, for example, and restricting especially those who are not your own people, and banning them from offending you, from criticizing you, from questioning you, or even from converting you. Many people who don't know this might be surprised, but in over a dozen countries, I think in over 20 countries, it is in some way legally not allowed to go and convert Muslims to Christianity. In over a dozen countries, it is directly illegal to convert people to convert Muslims to Christianity. It is illegal to preach the gospel. It is illegal to go up to people and to talk about them, about how Islam is not true and Christianity is true, and they should become Christians. You can go to prison for that. You can be fined for that. You can be punished for that. You can be even technically on law executed for that in many Muslim countries. You don't want the UK, which is still a Christian country, to be one of those countries. So, there is one thing you can do, which is to go out and um, to attend certain rallies, to attend certain marches or certain protests, and to stand up against the censorship, and to stand for freedom, and to stand against the Islamization, and to stand against the Islamophobia definition. But ultimately, you need to step in, you need to encourage politicians, you need to talk to them, you need to do something about this to actively stop it. It's not going to stop itself, and you won't convince the Labour Party or even the Conservative Party to do something about it. You need better politicians who actually care about you, and you need people to do something about the huge influx of Islamic populations. You need to get rid of people who actively do not appreciate your values and to want to get rid of your values, who want to preach Islam and who want to spread Islam. You need to reverse things. You need to go back a little bit and save your country from the downfall that is impeding because of this stupidity.
Well, whatever is done in the UK, just as a disclaimer, it needs to be done within legal, peaceful, democratic means without any violence or illegality in any way, shape, or form. Just have
Yes.
to put that disclaimer in there with the state that we're in at the moment. With you, we could get banged up for hurty words online. It is that insane and that dangerous here in the UK at the moment for speaking our minds. But on that bombshell, guys, if you
Hold on, I
appreciated,
want to say
okay,
something about that. I
yeah,
want to say something about
please. My goodness, yeah.
that.
All right, here
So
we go for the encore. Go on, Ridvan.
so I come from, I lived in Turkey. I went to different Muslim countries. I am familiar with Muslim culture. It's so funny to me. In these Muslim cultures, it is expected of everyone to do whatever is necessary to protect their own government and protect their own values and protect their own nation and protect their own people. And nobody judges anyone for being even violent or anything while doing that. It is expected of everyone to suppress criticism, to suppress opposition, to suppress others. For example, if an English person went to Turkey, for example, which is a very mild version of a Muslim country, and started raising the English flag or the Union Jack and said this is the best thing your country is not good, it needs to change, down with it, and so on, that person would be publicly lynched. And most people there would appreciate that. It would be considered something honorable to do. Then you come over here to the West. I'm not saying we should do the same thing. That's not the point. You come here to the West, you come here to Britain, you suddenly over here find it shameful and disgusting to even attempt to protect your country. And not only that, you also allow the people from those countries to come here and to also suppress your people here in your country. You protect them instead of protecting your own people. You protect their values instead of protecting your values. You see patriotism as something problematic or, sensitive issue, something dangerous, something morally maybe questionable by now. This is so ridiculous. This is so pathetic. It is such an upside down world. You should not be allowing this. Even by their standards, even by the visitors for whose sake you are selling out your own people. This is ridiculously shameful behavior. And I think people need to wake up and stop with this nonsense and need to start being proud of what they. I mean, think about it. You have a country that is so wonderful that those people want to come here and live here. Why would it be ridiculous to be proud of it? You should be proud of what you have. You should be proud of what your people built. They didn't build it, your people built it, and you should be proud of it. You should be happy with it. You should be loving it. And you shouldn't allow anyone to come and say anything about it. You shouldn't allow anyone to come and restrict your speech and your pride about it. You should be proud about it and raise the colors and raise the flag and stop anyone from trying to restrict you. And take the politics and to make them patriotic and British and Western again. You need to be stronger and prouder and preserve what you have. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, so we are waking up. We are becoming much more stronger and more proud of our British and English roots without fear of being called far right erroneously and racist and all that BS. There's this, I don't know if you've seen it online, but it's going viral here in the UK at the moment, this Raise the Flags movement. We've just got like ordinary members of the public are just going out and they're just putting up on every kind of post that they can find, like our Union Jack flag, the cross flag, like the whole lot. And I just think it's absolutely amazing and so wonderful to see. It is a little bit crushing to see the government and the councils take them down. But what are we to expect? I just think it's absolutely fantastic that they somehow
It's
keep
amazing.
coming back up anyway, regardless of them being taken down. So, yeah,
Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
yeah, I think they're kind of tentatively called the flag wars right now, but anywho, that is going on that bombshell, guys. If you appreciated what Ridvan said, and why wouldn't you at this point, and then do make sure you give him a friendly follow on X at Apostate Prophet, and also as well follow him and subscribe on YouTube at Apostate Prophet for more bombshells from Ridvan himself. If you love this interview and you want more, then make sure here you subscribe to join our Alternerd tribe here on YouTube. If you're watching on X, make sure you're following me at Steph Alternerd. Big, massive thanks to Ridvan for doing all these interviews with me. I appreciate you, mate. Thank you so much to everyone that's tuned in. Appreciate all your faces as well. Till the next time, though, laters.